It's tea time, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, theys and thems, and everyone in between. What?
What's going on? Yeah, sorry.
We're drinking some Korean tea. This is from Morning Crane Tea. We've had a few of their teas on the show before, I believe.
And we have had this one laying around pretty much since then. This is not a fresh import, but it is freshly opened, so
yeah,
we'll see how it goes. It somehow was sitting at the bottom of the to bring onto the show box.
Nice.
And we have been quickly running out of pour, and I do like to feature at least some non-pour, so yeah, here we are.
And I'm eyeballing this. I'm brewing it a little bit like black tea. Do we have like a categorization of this processing wise? This is considered a black tea.
Dosim Dawan teas are made from leaves hand-picked from older semi-wild mountain tea bushes.
So, no.
Yeah, we have some information about the owner and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So brewing like a black tea, it looks like a black tea. I'm going to brew it like a black tea.
Yeah, it smells like a black tea too. Very fragrant, very nice smell. And you're welcome to add more tea as well.
Beautiful.
It's a Balhyocha, which is, I forget exactly what that term was, but I think it's...
Yeah, it smells like black tea. Should be nice. Smells good. Am I doing that right? Do you pull this out normally? Does that matter?
It just will sometimes leak a little bit, but it's fine. It will function just okay.
Cool. So yeah, I'm looking forward to this. This is it's kind of uncommon to bring on teas from outside of China and Taiwan for us, I'd say. This one.
For sure, yeah. Like, not even very many Japanese.
Yeah.
Japanese are like once every 2 years, and Korean teas at this rate are once every 3 or 4.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, yeah, not a common brewing for us at all. You could probably also tell that we did not do a ton of research about this tea before. But you know what? That's fine.
Yeah. It smells great. It smells like a good black tea to me. So these teas, just recollection is, I've always enjoyed the sort of kind of corn sweetness from these teas. Sometimes Yunnan black teas can have a bit of that, but they also have a very typically kind of an earthy, spicy thing. And I don't remember, but I don't think that these kinds of teas have that as much. So
yeah, and I don't smell any of the corn yet, but
right.
We'll see if it makes its way into the cup. Cheerio. Bat.
Cheerio. Quite sweet.
Indeed. There's like a fineness to this that I feel like is sometimes missing on pours, which I feel like are oftentimes more like blunt forces. Interesting.
This really, really tastes like Oriental Beauty to me.
And I am starting to get a little bit of that corn. I can definitely see that Oriental Beauty. Like definitely a good amount of oxidation on this, for sure.
Yeah, like a residual sweet fruit flavor of some sort. Almost peach.
Yeah.
Or apricot kind of a thing. Yeah. Nice. Tasty.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mom test?
Yeah.
I think so.
Why not?
Yeah, I think so.
I think it passes.
I think this definitely does.
What about ultralight? Do you think this too... We'll see how it does. It's like we don't have a good feel for kind of the robustness of these teas.
Yeah. I think the thing about the ultralight test is that it's really geared towards teas that can take variable steep times.
True.
And kind of hold a cohesive band of flavor. Whereas I feel like black teas, some white teas, can really kind of like get pushed over the edge and they really go bad.
Yeah.
But yeah, this is good.
So in that sense, like ultralight, if you can nail it, it could work, but just little too.
Yeah.
There's some risk involved.
Yeah, maybe using colder water, but then you might not get nearly as much of the flavor.
Yeah.
Cheerio.
All the way down the hatch. Pretty similar to the first tea for me, but this tea is interesting in the sense that like it's not consistent all the way through. It's kind of like it has like a start and a finish to it.
Yeah.
So I'm still figuring out that there's definitely a fair amount of sweetness. I get a little bit of caramel in this as well.
Yeah, I almost get kind of mascarpone, like an almond sweetness, slightly.
Nice mascarpone.
Yeah, there you go.
Nailing it.
Boom. Take that.
That one's for you, 17-year-old studying for the SAT.
Mascarpone.
I doubt that's even in there.
Really easy drinking. Not something that's... What, is this a tea weirdo's tea, would you say?
Ask me again in a steep or two.
Yeah.
I want to see if it does not change very much from what it is now.
Mm-hmm.
I want to say no. But if it's changing a lot, then I want to say yes.
Yeah.
Because right now, I think it blends at least a little bit too much for me into kind of black tea territory.
Yeah.
But there's enough there that kind of has my interest. Like, I don't know. There's like a fineness to this that, which is probably not a great word to describe it, but that I don't get in all the other teas. I'm not sure. Maybe it's like a silky texture thing too.
The aroma in the cup is really good.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm almost enjoying it more than the actual drink.
Yeah, what do you think? Is this a tea drinker's tea, or is this more like a impress your family sort of tea?
Yeah, I don't know. Because it's not... It's not so unique to be like, oh wow, this is a Korean tea. It's really different. Like we've had some teas that were grown in Hawaii, right? And they have like a strange banana flavor, and it's like, huh, this is weird. I don't know if I like it, but it's kind of interesting.
Yeah.
This is like, I don't know, just similar to a lot of other stuff. But I feel like some of the other teas we've had from Korea have been a bit more unique and different.
Yeah.
This is really tasty. I want to be clear, but I think that it would be hard to disambiguate. Hey, this is from Korea. This is
rather than just like a pretty solid Oriental beauty.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like similar enough. They're not the same, to be clear.
Right.
There is definitely some differences here, but
oh, just like a really cozy cinnamon cookie, oatmeal cookie kind of thing.
Even in terms of the leaf color, it does look a bit like Oriental beauty. It's like darker, but not like pitch black or anything.
Yeah, definitely good. Here we go.
Cheerio.
Down the hatch. Okay. A little bit earthier. Losing a little bit of that saccharine sweet.
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
Little minerals. Hints of kind of rock taste.
Interesting. Yeah, it's very sweet, just all the way start to finish, which is probably why it reminds me a lot of black tea. It's interesting. We're kind of getting like the two levels of sweetness here with our first two teas. It's like your fermenty sweet, and then your kind of more saccharine.
Yeah. I like it.
Yeah.
It's good. This is the kind of tea that I think would be good in context with other teas, especially. If you were to bring this to a friend, for example, who might be a bit more of a tea head, wants to do a session, I would put this earlier on, a little bit more delicate.
I agree, yeah. Could get lost if you do it like after a really strong tea.
Yeah, but quite tasty.
Yeah.
Yeah.
To go back to a very early TDB question, like what time of year would you have this? All year? Dark seasons?
That's a good question. Almost like a crappy day in summer. It's kind of a crisp, fresh tasting tea in some ways too, but in other ways it's a little bit. It's not. It doesn't have that earthy thing that I'm just like, I want the dark. I want the darkness.
Well, here you go. If you want a crappy day on summer tea, accept no substitute.
Oh God! Pay us to market your stuff. Why are you paying us, guys? Yeah. Come on, think about it. We're just killing it. Oh, wow.
They love us.
Yeah, this is, okay, so, mom test pass, I think, for sure.
I agree.
Yeah, and ultralight test, possible.
Not a first choice, but could be acceptable on a pinch.
Yeah. I'm really enjoying the smell of the Dawan. And, I mean, I don't know how many leaves, what quantity of leaves I use, but I think this could have taken even more.
It looks like it, yeah. We really haven't teetered on the overbrewing part scale. So I think this could take. I think your experience might be a little different. You might lose out on some of the finer features, but I think it could definitely take some extra heat or relief.
And this tea steeping is less strong. I'd say that the last steeping,
Okay.
which was like steeping 3, I think,
Yeah.
I would have ratcheted up a little bit more in the heat, given it a little bit longer time, and then called it there. I think this would be a really lovely tea to throw in a big jug of water in the summertime and drink it as a nice tea. Later, after you've had a session of it. Yeah, really good. Different, interesting. I can't say that it's so radically novel that I'm like, oh wow, this category of Korean tea, some new thing I want to explore. Yeah, right? It feels a bit more like, oh, these taste like similar things I've had. But very approachable, very clean.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Balhyocha Dosim Dawan from Morning Crane Tea.
Send them an email, morningcranetea@sbcglobal.net. There you go.
Yeah.
Yeah. We thought we weren't good at marketing. Just kidding. No offense. Anyway, give him a Google.
Well, guys, slow it down.
I know.
Was what Denny said offensive? Comment below.
Comment below. Yeah.
Farming for engagement.
SBC Global. Is that like East? Like that's like Midwest internet, right?
I know that for some of the people we work with. Yeah, I see some
yeah, exactly.
Can't say they give off Gen Z vibes.
I'd say go and definitely check out Morning Crane Tea and maybe check out some of the other teas that
they have good teas.
Yeah.
To be clear.
I think this is probably one of the least showing of, or at least unique of their teas that we've brought onto the show. Not a criticism of it, just that the other ones that we've had have tasted a little bit different and interesting. As a result, this is much more of a, I think, just a lovely daily drinker for me.
Yeah.
And then subscribe, do all the stuff. Tell your mom and dad you love them, or if you don't love them, tell them that you hate them.
Well, there's also some gray spectrum.
I guess there's an in-between there.
Yeah, you just want to cover all our bases.
Right,
you know?
yeah. So, however you feel, explain that to them for some reason. I don't know why.
Or don't, but mostly subscribe.
Yes, do that, and we'll see you guys next time.
Peace.
Parenting advice.